Alright, so in this video we're going to be checking basically the checks and marking them paid on the invoices in Help Desk. So you'll see I created a checks channel over here. Basically what I'm doing here, and this might change as we move forward, but basically what I'm doing is I'm taking a picture of each check that I get right before I deposit that check, because we need to be able to track if we're getting paid from these companies. And when I mean these companies, I mean the different designers we work with, Calico, Hunter Douglas, just the different customers that we work with. I want to make sure everything gets tracked. So what we're going to do is when I upload checks into the system, I'm going to basically have the check right here. You'll notice right here, if you see one without it referencing the invoice number, like 1050 is the invoice number down here. All these invoices, that's the invoice that each amount is corresponding to. So if you say you see one right here without an invoice being one of our invoice numbers being referenced, that basically just means that it's we're getting the payment on the spot. Maybe that's a customer that we got through Home Advisor or something like that, where we don't invoice them. If that's our own customer, then we collect the 50% deposit before we get the product ordered. And if it's basically once we install that product for our own customer, we get the amount due once we install that product. Excuse me. But if it's Hunter Douglas, we do the work first and then they pay us, or Calico or anyone else. All these people that I have you send invoices for, those people are paying us later, so they're just sending us the checks. So let's just do this real quick. So you'll see this is our customer. I referenced Scott Johnson on here, and I might have already done this because normally if it's my customer, I'll mark it paid, and then I'll send them the paid invoice for that. So we'll see this one here. Hunter Douglas is also a little bit different because we don't invoice them. They pay us through their system. So that's a little bit different. So if you see Hunter Douglas brand up here, you'll know that we're not going to be marking anything paid yet. I might have us start creating basically for every Hunter Douglas job that we get, I might have you start creating an invoice and not sending it to them, but just showing it paid just to make sure we're getting paid on that. But that might be a later video. So right here, you'll see right here on this check, and you can click on it to kind of zoom in here a little bit. You'll see $184 reference to 1050. Excuse me, so sorry. Reference 1050 right there. That's basically the invoice number. So what we're going to do is go up here to invoices, and here's all the invoices that we sent out by their numbers. They're all in numbers here. You can change this. You can go to 20 per view. Let's go to 50. And then what we'll do is that was 1050 Susan Neal for $184. So then what you'll do is go up here, payment, receive payment for the total amount. Sometimes it might be half the amount or whatever, but just make sure the right amount is put in there, the date is in there, and then you'll select check. Something's got to be in this box, so just make sure you check select on there. You could put the check number in here or any memos that they had. I'm not going to do that this time, so we'll go ahead and save that. And then as soon as you enter that as paid, we will go Down here, it'll show paid 184, balance due. Then what we're going to do is click the more button, go to email, and then invoice. It's going to email it to that person to show that they have paid this invoice. Send. It is as simple as that. And then once it's paid in full, it's going to close out that what should invoice. All right, and then you can go ahead and just mark that paid up here. Sometimes that might do it itself. I don't know why it doesn't sometimes, but you can go up there and click paid. And then we'll refresh that to see if it's showing paid now. I don't know why that popped up. So we'll go down there to 150. Yep, status paid, balance 0. So that was for 150. So basically that's what we're going to do. And if there's any questions, because we definitely need to keep close track of this on here. If there's any questions, like I might even have you go through and just any of these ones that are showing balances. I'm gonna have to go and check and make sure, because what I want to do is just make sure the balance is 0 on there. Because I know, like, she paid, all these 3 that have paid, they've all paid, and I must have forgot to send the paid invoice there. But all these ones, I know George has not paid yet. Just make sure we're tracking all this. And if you, for some reason, see one that is, it's been a little while and it's showing still a balance, check with me on that. And, when it comes down the road, you might be able to do some research on your own to be able to get that. But we just need to make sure the balance on these, especially if they're 30 days or older, we need to go back and just keep tabs on that and make sure they're all paid. But it's as simple as that. We're just tracking it through the invoices tab over here, taking the check, going to the corresponding check, marking the payment button, making sure it's paid, and then make sure the status is paid over here. It's as simple as that. So, and then when you get, I don't know, you might even know what's better here. But maybe once we are done with the check, add reaction, maybe like a check mark, just showing that it's been done. You may find a better way to do that. We might even find a better way in general to do this. But maybe we can do that for now, and if you have other ideas, we can definitely do that. But we just did that one, so I put a check mark by it. And then here you'll see that they put 5 different ones on there, another one. And then Linda down here at the bottom, you'll see she referenced the invoice number down there. And then on this one right here, you'll see right there that the invoice number is referenced. So if you could go ahead and just keep to date up on that, and I'll give you access to this checks account, and we will be good to go. Thanks so much.